Hello, and welcome to DiceMasters United. I'm Spug.
I'm Ben.
I'm James.
And I'm Peter.
Coming up in this episode.
Our bid to review every card in the new Dark Phoenix Saga set continues with a look at all 40 of the rares.
Whether you like to sit back and skip the attack step,
Or smash your opponent in the face with max damage every turn.
there are some absolute beauties in this not to be missed category.
And we'll be revealing which uncommon card you voted for as the one you're most excited about getting to the table.
All that and more in the latest episode of DiceMasters United.
Yes, here we are. We are halfway through. Actually, we're more than halfway through, aren't we? Our review of every card in the Dark Phoenix Saga set, because we have done 80 so far, and we've got 40 rares to do, and then I think 16 super rares and 16 basic action cards. So we are more than halfway through this epic quest, and we are getting to some real good stuff now as we move on to the rares. I think there are definitely some ones that people are going to be excited about. Lots here that's going to see a lot of play. So shall we just, as James would say, crack on and get straight into it with the first card, which is Peter.
Angel, Air Support. It's a forecast shield with the X-Men affiliation. He has the founder keyword, and he says, while Angel is active, when an opponent targets one of your character dice, gain 1 life. Could be interesting. I'm not super sure about the life gain strategy, but it can definitely buy you a turn or two at times, so could be good. Still, it's a forecast, maybe a little too expensive to be worth it.
Nobody's going to buy that.
The targeted stuff is normally targeted removal as well. Like,
Yeah.
if it's that much of a threat, they'll just remove it with the target.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Would it still trigger? If, like, for example, if you targeted it with Spider-Man, would you gain 1 life before it disappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be in the queue, for sure.
For all the good it'll do you.
I know.
It's a whole life. That'll buy you.
If it was pay 1 life to, like, stop your opponent targeting one of your characters, then we might be talking. But
Yeah. That would really
Yeah.
no thanks.
I definitely feel it's at least 1 and maybe even 2 too expensive for what it does.
Yeah.
Like, because I think, as James has said, I don't think many people are going to be buying this for 4 just to gain 1 life.
Yeah, I mean, for 2, it would be worth it just for the founder keyword, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and cheap shields.
Yeah.
We have another founder, don't we, straight up in our next card, which, Ben, I think, is a bit better.
I really hope it's better. So Beast Combat Ready, 2-cost Fist, has the founder keyword. When Beast attacks, prep a die from your bag. The first Beast die you purchase each game costs 1 extra. So the Uncommon Beast did something very similar. All the founders could prep when you attack with this.
Yeah.
This kind of gives you a bit cheaper, apart from the initial purchase of the first one. But if you get several of them out, you hopefully might have some ramp in a game that has been devoid of ramp options. So I'm really hoping actually this beast works out and you can get enough of them. A couple of them prepping dice. I don't know. I would like it to be good.
Yeah. Which do you prefer? Do you think this is better than the uncommon, which says while Beast is active when a character die with founder attacks, prep a die from your bag, and that costs 1 more in 3?
I mean, I think I like the 2-cost for this better. I really wish it didn't have that second part.
Yeah.
I'm
interested they put that rider on there, actually. Because that's very unusual, isn't it, that they do that? I don't. Have we seen that before on a card? The first one is 1 more expensive?
I feel like there's been something
Maybe
where...
there was something that was different for the first one you bought. I think there was...
Yeah, it was the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash.
Never seen that played.
That one costs 1 less to purchase, yeah. But this overall, I think maybe with Clayface and stuff like that, actually that initial purchase isn't too bad.
No.
3 cost is something you can buy first turn, and then maybe second turn buy another one at 2 cost.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just hope the consistency is there for getting the prep dice out. My worry is that it becomes the 0/1/1 fielding cost might just become you're paying 1 to field him every turn, and that's the dice you're prepping.
Yeah.
You have to get at least 2 of these out to really be probably effectively churning.
Yeah.
But I mean, in draft, no brainer. In casual play, definitely we'll see some. I think in competitive play, I'm going to try this out.
Yeah.
Because Beast has really good stats for the cost.
He does. And
I would like him to be good.
I think he will be, and you mentioned in draft. Obviously, the thing that's going to be alongside him in draft is the common Deadpool, who enables you to reduce the cost by 1 of 1 character card on your team. So you potentially could be buying him for 1.
That's true. It'd be good if you could ignore his text somehow when you buy him.
You could blank him before you buy him.
Time. Yeah.
You could buy a Typhoid Mary, then blank
him for the first time, then buy him.
Attack with your Typhoid Mary.
You can't use Typhoid, right? Because it's opposing character.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
But with something like Prismatic Spray that blanks everything, there's something that blanks everything all the way around.
It would be.
But is it worth it?
No, definitely not. But
I would say no.
Don't know. Fun one.
Yeah. But there is a good one. Yeah, and obviously, the fact that he's got the founder keyword as well makes him potentially key off some of those other things. We will see. But no, he's a good one straight up. James, let's move on to Bishop, shall we?
Bishop, Time Traveller, 3-cost shield, X-Men. If you only use energy from Bishop dice to purchase a character die, prep that die instead of adding it to your used pile.
Yeah, do you like it?
So, it was like a Rip Hunters sort of thing, but for you personally. But you're restricted to only using energy from Bishop. So that, unless you have multiple Bishop dice, that limits the cost of what you can buy, presumably.
If you have a really good 2-cost shield character, I mean, you could clayface the Bishop in and buy that and prep it every time. But other than that, I don't know.
There is something, I think maybe something here with the kind of turn 1, buying it, clayfacing it in, then using the purchase to buy something to prep for turn 2. I don't know what that would be, but
2-cost shields.
The 2-cost shields.
Atlantis is the thing that I thought of straight away.
Atlantis is not a character die.
It has to be character dice.
Mm-hmm.
The common angel.
Well,
yeah, no.
Is it Moira?
There's a 2-cost Moira, I think.
There is.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I like this ability. I don't know if I like it on the blob. Sorry, on the bishop. Sorry, bishop.
The 2-cost common Deathbird, actually, that is good because that's got deadly.
Oh, yeah.
That's
there
good.
You go.
I mean,
that is actually decent.
Even if it was a blank 3 costs with 2, 5, 6, was that worth it?
For a 3-cost, it's got pretty good stats, isn't it?
I hate those level 1 and level 2 stats, though. 2, 5, and 3, 6.
Yeah.
If there are very few 2-cost shields. Gazer and Silgar.
Ooh, Silgar. Yes.
Could buy a couple of Silgar.
Silgar, exactly. Yeah, Silgar could be 1, can't he? If you
prep 1 turn 1, prep another turn 2.
Well, you could prep 2 using 2 shields from Bishop, couldn't you? If you clayfaced him in on double shield side.
Yep.
Oh, they're 1-cost. Yeah.
If you buy 1-cost on.
That is pretty cool, actually.
I could see people doing that. There you go.
But I mean, actually, if you think about that could give you potentially, if you do that turn 1, I mean, you have to go second, right? Because you'd need 4 energy.
You need 4, yeah.
You could have 8 energy on turn 2.
That's pretty crazy. I like it. That's a Thanos.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay.
Or alternatively, 2 Becky Lynch's 4 costs.
I mean, that's what we're going to do, but yeah. Let's pretend for a while.
Yeah, we're going to buy something big. Or Supreme Intelligence. We're going to go try and buy the 12-cost Supreme Intelligence.
Well, wait, hear me out. If you use Kree Captain Global to discount something and then purchase it with the Bishop energy, it would still count.
Yeah, that's right. Or with Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, yeah.
Or with that, So there's potential here.
Yeah, I think it's better than maybe we first realised.
The chalkboard global is really powerful. The Becky Lynch global now, it's a really powerful global, and not giving it to your opponent is something to consider.
But you're thinking because of the lack of ramp available, the lack of
the lack
of
also
ramp options.
It was. I mean, it was a good global when there was PXG around.
Yeah,
the fact that this, and then it's not on terrible stats. I mean, I would like it not to be 1-1-2, but
I feel like this could be a sleeper, a bit of a sleeper.
This is a Tinkerer's card. This is like this is bloody something.
Take a little while
Peter's going to do some ridiculous stuff with in Golden.
2 cost, turn 2 Thanos. Bring it on.
But like Stomper, like you get a turn. I mean, you could easily get Stomper out. The 9 cost, send stuff back to the card. Yeah. That'd be really good. I don't know. I like that.
Or buying some of those those 6 cost basic actions. Oh, is it that one?
Hellfire Gala.
Hellfire Gala, exactly. Yeah.
Turn to Hellfire Gala.
That's going to put the pressure.
Let's do it.
All right. There's some good stuff there, but we should probably move on to Blink, and we're back with you, Peter.
Yes, Blink Warp Portals, forecast mass character with the X-Men affiliation. While Blink is active, once per turn when your opponent uses a global ability, you may pay a mask and 1 life to cancel that global ability. So
is that any good?
Is a pretty good counter to the Gladiator Global.
Yes.
Because they only have the 1 opportunity to use that, and then it's bye-bye. So this has some pretty good potential on a Asuka team control-ish style.
On an Asuka when you buy her for 2.
Yeah. And then you will probably have some masks hanging back, and then you can just, cancel all the globals. Well, just 1. But still, I could see this being useful.
I feel like the pay 1 life thing, though, means you're going to do it more selectively.
It's only once per turn anyway.
That is true. I mean, it could be good if it gets you out of a particular spot, I suppose, if there was a double over crushing Becky Lynch coming down your throat or something like that.
It could be a lifesaver.
I'm not sure how many people will build it into their teams, though, personally.
4 cost, no.
No, probably not. But it's a pretty cool ability.
Yeah, it could be very annoying.
This is a reprint, isn't it? Something similar to this. There was definitely a pay something to cancel a global.
Yeah, and it was Blink, wasn't it, I think, previously?
It may have been a Blink.
But no one used that, right?
No, there's different times.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, with the advent, just you're thinking about getting a 4 cost out to cancel the Gladiator Global. My problem with all these things that you're just relying on Becky not rolling them out.
Yeah,
that's just sickening, isn't it? I think the costs are just too much on this, right? The 4 cost with the mask and the 1 life. You could use it. I mean, the name is back, but Hope maybe as a delaying tactic while you get what you want to do with Hope set up. There's just another option.
Yeah. I feel like it's something you might need late in the game to save your skin, but by that stage you probably, it's probably too late for you to start thinking about.
I mean, also the other thing with that is they use Eddie Guerrero or something, and then they get rid of your mask, so you can't even do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Well, shall we move on to Blob, Ben? I think it's your turn. I don't think this will trouble us for very long.
Blob immovable, 6 cost shield. It is a mutant guy. What are those? Brother
for mutants, yeah.
There we go. Each of your Blob dice may block 3 character dice instead of 1. Pretty okay. When Blob KOs a psychic die, return it to your opponent's bag. Even better.
Yeah.
Not worth the 6 cost.
But, exactly.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he probably only KO 1 because he has 1
attack. Exactly, because he's only got 1 attack.
Unless you're forcing them all to attack, then, pumping Blob, but there are better ways to do this same effect. Effectively the same effect. There are different ways to do sending your psychic dice back into the bag.
You don't really want to be spending 6 to buy something that's only at best mildly irritating to your opponent.
Clogging the bag with psychics is pretty good.
Well, it is irritating, but it's not game breaking, is it?
No.
So shall we move on to something better? And James, you get one of the blue ribbon cards straight up. Don't say I never give you anything nice.
It's Cable High Stakes, a 6-cost bolt with the X-Men affiliation. When Cable attacks, double the printed attack of all of your other character dice.
Wow. Did you say
Stop
double?
the press. I said double.
Double the printed attack. So do we think that's any good?
Nah.
Anything which says double. That'd be good.
It's just stats, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
This could be pretty crazy. Especially
This is
because you
gonna be
can copy
bonkers.
it with Hope.
Exactly. And Hope costs how much, Peter?
3.
3. So you could have this flying around in your field for just 3, doubling everything else. And there are some good things in this set with big stats. I mean, Gladiators to come, but it only costs 4. There are some other good things. I mean, with Wolverine, isn't there? It's got some big fat stats.
I mean, obviously, to do with this is getting the Hope Rachel combo. You kind of just use that to stop your opponent doing stuff, and then when you're ready, you do the Hope Rachel combo, blow up your opponent's field on their turn.
Yeah.
Comes to your turn, you roll everything in. You field Hope copying Cable, and then everything you attack with is now double attack, and you win, right?
Because their field is empty.
Because their field is empty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or more likely, you miss your Hope horror.
I know, but then if you miss, well, that's true. But if you don't get enough characters to win, you just put Hope back out and name Rachel
Just wait.
still.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Not if you miss your Hope.
Unless you miss your Hope. Yeah. Then there is no hope.
Hopes.
All hope is lost. Exactly.
No, there's no hope. Wasn't there a way of doubling something? Doubling it with this and then doubling it with... We were talking about it then.
Yeah, there was not with the global on the Jerry Lawler, but with the actual action itself.
With the action.
What's wrong with the global?
It has to be blocked for a start, doesn't it?
The action only doubles like blocked characters.
Yeah, right. So give something Overcrush.
Yeah, okay, but then your opponent needs to have a field.
I mean, the
you mean with Hope Rachel? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I'm not talking about Hope Rachel.
No.
Yeah, the global would work.
Stats.
You're right. The global would work.
Global should also work, because it just deals double damage.
But the nice thing about this Cable and how they've balanced it, quote unquote, is that it's the printed attack, so you can field Cable and a Hope and double the double that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it only doubles the printed attack. So
the most efficient Overcrusher is Becky, right?
Yeah, probably.
4. She's got 8 on the top side.
Yeah,
that'd be 16.
And then a Hope.
Double that.
The cost of 3. The high cost of 3 is you've spent 7. 1 for the Gladiator Global. How many is that? And then that global that doubles stuff which is blocked. Is that 32?
Yes, it is.
9.
I mean, I will say with that though, if you're trying to do that, and I mean, it's not brilliant, but you would have to attack with Hope, so that would give you, so you wouldn't necessarily have to block Becky.
Yeah, but if they don't block her, she deals 16. That's pretty hefty.
I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but
but you can't use Cable and Hope to double because obviously they only double the printed attack, as Ben pointed out. Yeah.
Is 32 not enough for you?
No, but it's not legal. It's not legal.
You get Thanos.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And the Jerry Lawler Global.
Let's do that. Okay.
So what we're doing is
I've actually woken
buying
up.
the bishop, clayfacing the bishop, buying 2 Cell Guards, which both get prepped. Then on turn 2, buying the Thanos,
yeah,
and a Hope somehow.
Yeah.
They both get prepped somehow.
Well, you can use Kree Captain Global. And Dark Phoenix, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
And then you can prep those. So turn 3, you're fielding the Thanos and the Hope, and then winning.
Easy. The jobs are good.
Someone do the math. That must be mathable.
Thanos is 9 top side.
So 9 times 4, so 36. Yeah, not bad.
-1 if it's blocked by a psychic.
And you have to do it going second, right? So, well, theoretically going second. I think that's the only way to do it.
Yeah,
but you could theoretically have them have 3 turns to try and stop 36 overcrushing damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's mathable. Let's work it out.
That's pretty scary. That is pretty scary. And and what's even more scary, Ben, is that you've just come up with that in the space of about 2 minutes. Whereas
I am a genius,
other people,
though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No. Some people actually think about teams and
Exactly.
actually,
yeah. But they'll come up with way more clever ways
scary,
of doing stuff like this. This is just sort of kind of almost freestyling, isn't it? So there's going to be a lot of awful stuff that's going to happen with this, but it's also a lot of fun, probably.
But also, we have Blink to defend against it, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, Blink will save you back.
Or Blob. He can block 3 things.
3 sidekicks.
Put him in.
Yeah.
Let's put him in and you'll be fine. Okay, so Cable is definitely going to be a top card.
Anyway, I'm glad combat damage isn't like the only thing we can do.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Colossus Piotr. That is sort of a reprint of Colossus Piotr Rasputin, but he is one cheaper. He is only a 6 cost fist this time around, with the X-Men affiliation, so copyable by Hope. And he says, while Colossus is active, at the end of your turn, each of your level 2 or 3 character dice deal your opponent 2 damage. So that is wild.
Yeah.
To see that back.
It is.
Modern. Ben knows all about how effective Hope Colossus is.
Yep. They're gonna have to do something about Hope, aren't they? Really?
It's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be some kind of. If they field Hope, they lose the game or something. I mean, like,
yeah. No hope. There'll be a no hope campaign.
Yeah, basic action card. There is no hope.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose it's not beyond the realms of possibility that she'll be rotated out in the not too distant future.
I suppose so. But I mean, you can definitely see teams with Cable, Colossus, and Rachel and Hope, and those are your 4 characters. And basically, you're not buying anything other than Hope. And then the second side is for Ramp and Churn, and then maybe your Drax or something. And just that gives you so much flexibility in terms of what your win condition is.
Yeah. Or Danny Moonstar if you want another annoying X character.
Don't forget the Danny. I mean, Danny Moonstar is a big reason I don't think this Colossus is going to be quite as effective because big fields are not really a thing.
Yeah.
But if big fields become a thing again, this is like primo stuff.
Yeah.
It's nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, there's a question for me whether this Colossus is better than the 6 cost Thor that does 2 damage
when fielded
every time you field a character. Yeah, I mean, what do we think?
The Thor is probably better, isn't it? Just in terms of
it's more aggressive, for sure.
It's more aggressive, but also it does stuff for level 1 character. It does stuff with psychics as well.
Yeah, that's true. But with this, you could have like a control-y team and just have this as just.
You don't have to worry about getting rid of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with that Thor, it does require you to get some characters in circulation somehow. Whereas
you've got to be fielding stuff.
The Colossus can just kind of sit there with a wall of stuff. I mean, in a way, this kind of does work with the Blink and with other stuff like that, where you just want to sit in the field and they will protect you.
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously going to play this with static field, aren't you? I should imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
To stop it getting taunted out. Oh, talking of which, did you see that Scott Hall died?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. See, someone who I'd never heard of before the WWE set came out, which is, slightly to my shame because I'm not into wrestling, but then I saw that he died, and he was in his 60s. Like, he didn't look that old in his DiceMasters picture.
Legend of the game, apparently.
Is he?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Well,
yeah, sad to hear.
Sad times. Yeah, for Scott Hall fans.
He never got that second set.
No, well, he might be. I suppose they might do. Who knows? But yes, so Colossus, I mean, you feel like, I'm not sure, but I wonder if it might just slot into that sort of 1.5, tier 1.5 kind of win con.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where the original sat.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But this is cheaper. And we have Hope.
Yeah.
So I can see it winning tournaments.
People are going to play it.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope it's good because that's probably a good sign that combat damage is not overwhelming.
The danger will be, I mean, with things like the cable that we just talked about and the overcrushing Beckys and gladiators and all that sort of nonsense, is that people will be afraid of having too much in their field. So they will steer away from things like this. But time will tell. But it's obviously a very good card in any case. I think it's back to you, Peter, with Corsair.
I'm happy to do it, but I just did Colossus.
Oh, did you? Apologies. No. Let me stop you there. Ben, it'll be you then.
Corsair, criminal record. 5-cost fist, no affiliations, because he's a criminal. When fielded, KO target villain character die, or KO 2 target villain character dice, if your opponent has 4 or more character dice in the field zone. Fair enough. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
I mean, good one if your opponent has it and you can put out that one that gains you life, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might target 2 of your villains and you might gain 2 life.
Yeah.
So pass it in draft and maybe someone will draft it.
Someone will get
And you
it.
can use that rare Angel to great effect.
To gain some life. Yeah, I mean, too expensive, too specific, and probably not enough villains that you really care about killing off, really, is there, at the moment?
No, it would have been nice, I guess, back in the day with the villain kind of overpowered control stuff.
Yeah,
but this is
exactly.
5 costs. It's just ridiculous. I like Corsair's stats, but no, not for me.
Not very good. James, Cyclops.
Cyclops, Utopia Realize, 6-cost Bolt, X-Men affiliation, really. While you have 3 or more character dice in the field zone, when Cyclops stacks, deal 3 damage to target character die.
What?
No.
This might be the worst rare in the set.
That is
Possibly.
Do you think this is worse than Corsair? I don't know.
Oh, it is.
At least
Well,
it's
it's
kind
not
of...
a beautiful
it is.
And
It's a 6-cost, and it's got a very specific
it's
requirement.
conditional, and it's 3 damage. Yeah.
And it'll,
Well,
it might
attacks,
kill.
okay.
It might kill a sidekick. Or something.
I don't know. I think that's a bit... I mean, yeah, okay. But at least you can control having 3 or more character dice. I mean, Corsair, if they don't have any villains,
Does nothing.
then it does nothing. This at least kind of will always be able to do... You can kind of leave it in the field. Just maybe if they have something annoying...
Okay, they're both rubbish. Let's move on.
It would have been good again in the kind of back in the day where 3 damage mattered.
No, not even then.
Not for
It would have
6.
been okay. I would have played it.
If it did 3 damage to all of the opposing characters, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking for a 6-cost, it should be 3 damage to everything.
Or if you upped it to 5 damage, so got rid of Drax on every face or something.
Yeah, but even so, he's a 6-cost.
Yeah.
He's just too expensive. It's not. There are much better ways of dealing with it than
Yeah, of
than
course.
this.
Yeah.
So Cyclops not good this time around. We're back to our old mate Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, go on, Dave. Go on, Dave.
Peter, go on, Dave.
Dave Kenneth,
Get in
Kron Crystal. It's a 5-cost shield character with the Shi'ar and villain affiliation. So it can be KO'd by Corsair. And when they can attack, prep a die from your use pile. Okay, so the other one did that as well. But while a Decan die is in your use pile, you take no more than 7 damage during an opponent's turn. So that is interesting. That could save your life.
It could. But it's pretty specific. How are you going to manage it?
I've just realised this card directly counters that like ridiculous team I just came up with like a minute ago with the
Thanos
turn 3 Thanos.
Yeah.
Like 36
it does
damage,
like 87 damage on turn 3, but they've just bought a Decan, so they're fine.
Yeah. There are some ways of keeping this in your use pile. If you manage your bag and use Clayface effectively, you can definitely keep one of these in your use pile.
Yeah,
during your opponent's turn, or you could even sacrifice it with the Rock Global on your opponent's turn to get it into use. So there are ways. It could be good. I don't know if it's good enough.
Laurier mentioned, we said on the video, spoke that it, I think was your video, we said it was pretty hard to to do anything about, because it's, you can't target stuff in your opponent's use pile, which is true enough. But he did bring up the fact that you could use mutation if your opponent had if you wanted to do your 87 overcrushing damage and they had a decal in their use pile. Mutation would allow you to swap the die. You could have them move it into the field on them, which would
that's true.
Be quite annoying for them.
Irritating.
Or you could use corrupt, perhaps, to trigger a bag reset, which is a bit of a stretch. And there was something else as well. I thought it was quite good. He came
just Typhoid Mary. You can just blanket with Typhoid Mary.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Thanos versus Sage Corrupt meta.
No, the corrupt would be on the Thanos team though. It's Thanos Sage versus Deacon.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I mean, we've asked this question already. We've asked variations of this question already on this particular episode. But is this better then than the Kang Global that allows you to pay a mask and take no more than 7 damage or whatever it is?
Is it better?
What it actually says.
What it actually says.
Maybe.
In a sense, yes, because this also stops non-combat damage, and you don't need to.
It's not.
If there are more characters that will do you a lot of damage, you need more masks. If they use a Eddie Guerrero, they can steal.
That's true.
Yeah. Also stops the Gladiator Global as well. It doesn't get affected by the Gladiator Global.
Yeah. That's true, but everybody's going to have Blink, aren't they, to cancel that Gladiator?
I don't think Gladiator stops. What's his Kang, actually, because it doesn't target.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
Mira was always good against. The predecessor.
We could use a Mira Global in modern.
Yeah.
Well, that's Kang, but he's been adjusted, hasn't he? What was it? Mira was 5-2 or something.
Yeah.
And Kang does 7-4.
7-4.
Yeah.
Not as good.
So Deacon's definitely going to be. He's going to be another Tinkerer's one, isn't he? I feel.
There's stuff where everyone. I mean, I don't know if they have this anymore, but maybe this is an ability that's seen a few bits of play where, if you field it, everything has to attack. I mean, both sides have to attack constantly. So if there was something like that, this would be good.
That means you just take 7 damage, but then you'll field your
the Grodd is what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
surprise Grodd, and then have your opponent attack and then block nothing, and then have them with an open field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With we don't have a lot of ramp and churn. We do have lots of use pile manipulation, so it's not very difficult to get this staying there.
Yeah.
With Clayface and whatever.
Yeah. It could be interesting. I mean, if some of the combat damage shenanigans get totally out of control with doubling and all that nonsense that we've just been talking about, then actually this could end up being quite a viable counter. But it's still quite expensive at 5.
I think it's too expensive.
Okay. Says the world champion. So
I think the other Deacon's probably better.
The one that does the shenanigans with the action dice.
Yeah, or just the common which just does the prepper die.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Let's move on to Dark Phoenix, shall we? Because we are tarrying along the way. There's too many good stuff, and this is another example. Ben, it's your turn. Dark Phoenix is next.
Dark Phoenix, Destructive Force, 7-cost Bolt, Villain Affiliation, so can be KO'd by Corsair. When an opposing character die damages Dark Phoenix, she deals that much damage to each opponent. And she has the Dark Phoenix Global, which is the old Blue Eyes Global, which I won't go into. But it's a very good global. We talked about it a lot.
It is.
The actual
this is a very
itself,
good ability,
yeah.
Yeah. This could be great fun.
Reminiscent of the Jocasta Super Rare from Age of Ultron, which was good until they sort of nerfed it. This one is not nerfed. It's not the first time, is it?
No, because the Jocasta was the Jocasta the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, the first time.
Whereas this, any time. So if you could attack,
if
you could somehow get multiple things to block it,
Yeah.
Either by using a force block and just attacking with her, or by using something like the Booker T actual action, just buying the action and then using it so you can allocate blockers for your opponent.
I like it a lot. I think it could be very really viable as a win condition of its own, and it also has the global, which makes it easier to buy, which also means it's going to be good for other things in general. That kind of force block, if you use something like the other announcer global, other announcer basic action, where you get to decide the Booker T.
Yeah.
Where you can decide blockers just with the action itself.
Yeah.
And then stealing an idea for one of our other things we had with the Plague Marine, which can get +1/+1 to all your characters if a psychic gets KO'd, and all your opponent's characters as well.
Lord of Contagion.
No, Plague Marine, Vectors of Death and Disease.
Is it?
Whenever a psychic character gets KO'd, +1. Sorry. Not that one.
It's Lord of Contagion, I think, is the one you're thinking of.
No.
Is it not? Something from the WD-40.
Yes, Lord of Contagion. Sorry, when one of your psychics gets KO'd, everyone gets +1/+1.
That's it.
So you can give all your opponent's characters +1/+1.
Yes.
And then
get them to block.
Yeah, block.
Oof. Yeah, it's really cool. And obviously, just to be clear, if a character die is blocked by multiple opposing character dice, all of that damage still resolves because it all happens simultaneously. So, she would get KO'd, presumably, if she took a shed load of damage, but all of that damage would still count as being reflected onto your opponent. So it could be... I think this is really cool.
People will probably use this one. I think some of the other Dark Phoenixes are good. You're going to be using this global at some point. You're going to be trying it out. So why not have an alternative win condition or a main win condition as well?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think this is great fun, and will be. I think people will work hard to make this a viable win con, because I think it could be really cool. I mean,
you can't hope it.
You can't hope it. No.
Yes.
No, that's right. Which is probably good. But just imagine facing a double overcrushing Becky team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could almost. You could use the Jerry Lawler global on your opponent's behalf, couldn't you? To if you blocked a Becky with the Dark Phoenix die.
That's true. You mean on your turn if you attack with Dark Phoenix? If they have the two global, if they have the two ring announcers, you force their Becky to block and then double their attack. Yeah.
Double exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, which would be cool. Or even force Becky to attack on your turn and then use the Jerry Lawler global on her to double her damage when she attacks. There's lots of nice options, and with God Catchers flying around and Master Mold tokens and all sorts, it could get...
That would be very satisfying, to be fair, if they had a God Catcher, force it to block, attack with this, and then double the God Catcher to make it 20 attack.
Nice.
That would be very satisfying indeed.
Yeah, we've used the phrase hoist by their own petard, but this would definitely be the case here. Good. So Dark Phoenix is another very strong card, and we are on to Deadpool. James, it's you.
Deadpool, collect this 4-cost Fist X-Men affiliation, and the Deadpool affiliation. While Deadpool is active, your character dies with fielding cost of 2 or free to field. Next.
It's okay.
Oh, this is very thematic.
I'm not going to pay.
Great
I'm not going to
cable.
pay 4. I'm not going to pay 4 to get 2 off twice. Not happening. Not happening. Nobody will ever play this. Let's just move on to Death.
That's true. It's too specific.
Yeah.
Let's move on to
You can hope it. You can hope it if you want.
Yeah, and then discount your cable fielding. Because he has 1/2/2 fielding.
I think there are reasons you'd play this card, but fine. It's not very exciting.
I mean, if you've got stuff that's got expensive fielding costs, but the thing is, the fact that it's specifically just 2, like it's not 2 or more.
That's
your character dice with fielding
We
cost.
are
It
physically incapable of just letting a character lie in the dirt and not comment. It's not the worst card, but it's not worthy of further discussion.
Okay. Deathbird, Peter.
Deathbird, War of Kings, 3 costs, Shi'ar, villain. When fielded, target character die cannot block this turn. Not exciting. Next. There you go, James.
Not disastrous.
No,
by
it's
any
great
means.
great in draft, but
This is less exciting than Deadpool.
yeah,
Okay, next one's good.
agreed.
Although
I mean, if you might be, they might have
Now who's not letting it go?
You could use it on
mentioned before. They might have a specific die that might be blocking your Overcrush, for example, that you don't want them to block with.
or a poison
like
ivy, a poison ivy and
something.
mastermind or
Sure.
something. Yeah.
But still, it's very niche.
But sure, by all means, move on.
Let's move on, and Ben is back to you with Emma Frost.
Oh joy. Emma Frost, Finesse, 5-cost Shield, Hellfire, and X-Men affiliated. While Emma Frost is active, at the start of your opponent's attack step, reroll 2 target fist character dice your opponent controls. Those showing character faces are returned to the field zone. Those on energy faces are sent to the reserve pool. Very interesting, much like the uncommon, was it? Emma Frost does stuff in a new window that we haven't seen before. Listen to our uncommon chat about it.
Yes.
That one's better than this because it wasn't just fist characters, it was just one thing, but
Yeah.
very interesting.
Bit too
Yes.
specific.
This is a bit too specific, I would agree, Peter.
The fist character, yeah.
Fist. I mean, you can get rid of 2 of them, but hey, Fist. I mean, unless it's going to be Beast or something like that, then.
That'd be
Colossus.
bloody annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'd be really
you
irritating.
just bought these stupid beast dice to prep, and then that's going to happen. I already envision that's happening to me, and that's why I'm never going to play that beast ramp. Okay, let's move on.
It'll put you off it for life. Yeah. So Forge, James.
Oh, Forge, Reverse Engineer, 4-cost Bolt, X-Men affiliation. While Forge is active, if an opponent uses an action die, roll it. If it shows an action face, you may use its effect.
Now.
Oh, that got a ruling, didn't it? Thanks to Peter.
It did, yes.
Yeah.
And what was the ruling, Peter?
The ruling is that it does not work on continuous action dice.
i.e. God catches.
Which I expected you to not be able to use them, but it doesn't even re-roll them. So otherwise it could have maybe removed them or something, but that doesn't work. So it only works on regular action dice. You're depending on your opponent doing something specific.
Yeah.
Probably not great.
And then also that you use the original action face that they roll,
you use the face that they rolled.
rather than the one you roll.
Yeah, the re-rolling is not really re-rolling, is it? It's just
just checking.
Yes or no check.
Yeah.
a logic check. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be good at all. I don't think there's anything that your opponent's going to use on their turn, which I can think of, which is going to be useful for you on your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Especially with
you
this
have
50-50
chance.
shot. Yeah.
If it was 100%, maybe you could bring a good basic action that they might want to use, and then you could copy it.
I know, but investigation isn't very useful for you
It's not
because
good
you
enough.
don't roll on a
No.
roll. 2 dice.
No.
Thrown brick is okay because then you could prep a die.
Which could be annoying.
Which okay, sure. But I'd rather just buy it and throw bricks for myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I suppose on the plus side, Ben, he has got a 2 fielding cost on his level 3 side.
That
so,
Deadpool
Deadpool would be great with him.
paying off already.
There we go.
And it can't even be carried by Corsair, so there you go.
Well, there you go, see. It's a shoe-in for top card. Okay, Peter, it's back to you. Gambit. It's a reprint.
Gambit.
No, it's not. It's not a reprint. Shut
No,
up.
we've had that.
Yeah.
Unless I got something to play with, is his title. He's a 5-cost mask with the X-Men affiliation. When fielded, reroll up to 2 target opposing character dice. Each die that doesn't roll a character goes to your opponent's used pile. Yeah, we have another 5-cost that does something similar but better.
Yeah. Yes, a certain flame-haired wrestler.
Yeah, you
That
can
we've
copy it
mentioned
with
once
hope,
or twice.
but there are better hope targets.
Yeah.
So
Isn't it odd though if you compare this and Psylocke? I just find it Would it?
So you're getting ahead of
Character
yourself.
versus character dice.
Yeah.
Character versus character dice. Big difference now.
But
This can be.
But it's like they copied the Psylocke wording from the old Storm and this wording from Becky, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's really odd. And this one doesn't do the damage. Why bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you've got a 5 cost.
But...
Sorry, Peter, go on.
Yeah, it's decent removal, but it's there's cards that do something similar better.
Yep.
For less.
It's a mask and an X-Man, so you could get it for cheap.
But
Fielding.
And Gambit's a cool guy. He's French.
I love Gambit.
Is he?
He needs better cards.
Yeah.
He's not French. He's
no.
Cajun.
He's Canadian.
He's
sorry.
Cajun. He has a French accent. But he's not.
Yeah, the French accent. Yeah.
So, but I mean, obviously, you've got for the same cost, you've got for the 5 cost Pip the Troll, who doesn't re-roll 2 things. He just spins down 2 things.
And what happens if your Pip dice roll terribly?
Well,
get rid of that. Gambit it up.
You'll be sorry you didn't bring Gambit there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'll be thinking.
Top level works with Deadpool. There you go.
Oh,
110 fielding cost for Gambit.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Talking of very cheap fielding costs.
Yes, go on. Let's go on to Gladiator, please.
Gladiator Majestor Okay.
Isn't it a shelving unit? It's a shelving unit. Oh, IKEA, isn't it? A Calog.
The Gladiator Magister Calax. 4 cost fist. Shia Empire. Just bonkers stats. Cheap dice with great stats, whatever it was. And with the ridiculous Gladiator Global.
Yeah.
Which is pay a fist when you attack, your character dice can't be the target of action dice or global abilities. Yeah. So goodbye static field.
Yeah.
So stats 055166 077 for a 4 cost is bananas.
Yeah, it is.
Worth a Calax of its own.
Yeah. I'm going to build a shelving unit in its honour.
Global. We've argued about which one of these is the best one, the Gladiator wise. This one is definitely a viable one, just as a cheap backup for stats. The uncommon probably is better overall because it has the overcrush, but Intimidate one's good. This one is also good. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is really cool. And I mean, if you got this if you pick this up in a draft, that'd be great because you've got these bonkers stats. I mean, Peter, have you done any Homash calculations on this particular character, this version of this particular character, or should I not?
I think I may have, but I don't have them at the ready.
I don't have it with me.
Just do it very quickly. It's 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6
we
plus
can
7
still...
plus 7 plus 4.
Yeah.
All right, you keep talking. I'll do the calculation.
Okay, we'll keep talking and we'll ponder as to whether this is the best version of Gladiator.
I think the uncommon I would take over just because it has the overcrush backup, and that's kind of what you want with that global.
But it is 2 more expensive.
It is, but the overcrush by itself is worth it probably. And the fact that then you can also give it tokens to make it even crazier stat-wise.
With a cheap Lylandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a 3 cost Lylandra, isn't there, that you can pick up. So that would be good.
But this global is very much a change in. It's a scary change, really.
2.77.
That's good, right?
Yeah. That is very good.
Yeah.
Very high though.
Yeah.
Change for the game.
What's the highest value you've had so far? What's Canopic Jar, for instance?
I think that's in the 3 range somewhere.
Oh, really? That high? Okay.
The new Harley Quinn that's coming in Kryptonite Crisis, isn't it? That's up there as well, isn't it? Another 1 cost.
Yeah. We'll put it in the show notes.
No more maths for Peter now. It's too late in the evening. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, the thing is, obviously, with this character, you can just give it Overcrush, can't you, with Psylocke?
Sure.
To make it good. I mean, I guess arguably you might just bring the 4 cost Becky that has similar stats.
Yeah, I mean, this has that global. I think you're going to play the global.
already. Yeah.
That's why I think you probably run the...
If you miss your shield rolls, you just buy a gladiator.
Yeah. I think that's why I think you bring the uncommon, just because if they Drax your Becky, you're like, okay, well, I'll just take this other massive dude.
Right. Yeah.
Crush.
I think it's your turn, isn't it, next, James?
Iceman, Mr. Ice Guy, 4-cost Bolt, X-Men affiliation, Founder, and Energize, which is double target character dice, printed attack until the end of turn. And also, while Iceman is active, your psychic dice get +1 attack. I wasn't aware of that. So there's 2 things that do that. That and, was it Emma Frost was the other one? Common?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's fun for draft. I'm a bit less excited about the Energize. I mean, it's alright, I suppose. Could be alright, but I'm probably not going to pay 4 for it. Yeah.
It could be good with a Becky, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like but you'd rather pay the 6 to get the cable, and then everything's going double.
Yeah.
True, yeah. I think it's good. I think it'd be decent in draft. I think it'd be strong in draft, because buffing your psychic, anything that buffs psychics in draft is good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, in draft. Yeah, the +1 for sidekicks has always been a good ability.
Yeah. The bad news is, though, his highest fielding cost is only 1, so he's not Deadpoolable.
Do like Iceman stats.
Yeah, they're good. They are good. Yeah, so Iceman, all around, he's pretty icy, but maybe not.
He's a nice guy.
He's a
nice guy. Sorry,
he's an ice guy, exactly. But he's maybe not top tier. So it's back to you, Peter, with Jean Grey.
Yes, we have Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, 5-cost Bolt character with the X-Men affiliation. She has the Founder keyword, and while she is active, your opponent must pay 1 extra to use the global ability. And while you have a different X-Men character die in your field zone, Jean Grey is free to field, which is good because she has horrific fielding costs.
Awful.
Of 1, 2, 3. So the other Jean Grey also made your opponent pay 1 more. But you had to have a sidekick active, right? Or was it another?
Yeah, but that only costs 4, though.
That costs 4.
That only costs 4, but you have to pay the fielding.
Yeah.
So
true.
But you could copy either with hope.
You'd have to play this with the pip that makes globals 1 extra, so you're making them 3 extra.
No.
That is horrible.
That'd be fun.
That would make people quit the game. Exactly.
The Pope.
The Pope, exactly. Or the pipe, maybe. The pipe
costs 3 extra.
Oh, yeah. Get Hope out. Get Jean Grey out. Get Hope out, yeah.
Oh, man.
I see you'd like to pay 4 for that static.
Oh, that would just be horrific. That would make people quit the game.
Yeah.
I think there'd be no one left playing DiceMasters if
the nice balancing act of that, though, is that by the time you did that, you'd have lost the game. So
true,
probably
by the time you got all them out.
True, yeah.
So nice balancing act there.
It is, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we talked about this before, haven't we? And we talked about it, James, in the video that we did. We'll put the link in the show notes to the YouTube video that we did on control options in this set, where we debate a little bit whether this one or the other one is better. You can make up your own mind. But we should probably move on, because Jubilee is only halfway through, and we're like not making fast progress. There's too many good cards.
4 hours in.
Yeah.
While Jubilee is active, when you spend energy from an X-Men character dice, X-Men dice, I suppose, to use a global ability or field a character, deal 1 damage to target opponent or character die. So it's a little bit like the Turk Barrett super rare, but specifically on energy you spend on an X-Men dice rather than masks.
And
it's actually nice.
Your opponent.
And you can target your opponent. Yeah, very nice, actually. Nice combo with maybe this takes the place of the Dark Barrett. Huh.
Yeah, it could, for sure.
It's got better stats.
Great with Clayface.
I suppose the only thing it doesn't work specifically with, unless you use, I suppose... Wow, this card is good. This card works very well with my Danny Iceman team.
Yeah.
Because Danny's a cheap mask character, so I can just keep up with the mask globals. This has way better stats than the Turk. Bit more
horrible
expensive
fielding
field.
Oh, but if you use Deadpool, you'll be able to for free on level
Max
3.
X-Men. Lots of fun this Jubilee. Didn't realise this existed. I'm much more excited about this now. I'm really getting into that Iceman Danny Moonstar team that I stole off Peter. And now I'm going to make him my own.
Nice.
Yeah, this is funny because at first glance, this maybe isn't very good. We probably
it's not
felt
standout Jubilees, right? Like there's loads of really good Jubilees which you kind of got drawn to before that. Jubilee's always been such a good card. I mean, they don't
solid.
They must like the Jubilee over there in the WizKids headquarters.
They must do. Or she's giving them some kind of backhanders under the counter to always make sure that they give her a good ability. I don't know. Something's going on. So yeah, Jubilee thumbs up. So James, Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde just passing through 2-cost Mask, X-Men and Hellfire Club affiliations. Infiltrate. Well, it's a 2-cost Mask with good fielding costs. I don't really care what else it does. It could be. I suppose then you have to compare it to Danny, don't you? But
let's just pass through this card.
It's not much to say about it. It's all right.
Yep.
It's decent. I think it's all round decent. It's got good stats: 022, 032, 133 for a 2-cost with Infiltrate. That's good. I think
double affiliation could be interesting for some purposes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She gets a tick, I think. Maybe not, she's not an 8 or 9 out of 10, but she's still pretty decent. But maybe not quite. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I'm confusing. I'm getting ahead of myself on the next one. Lalandra, we're not doing the super rare. No, don't say that. This is the rare, and Peter, is you.
Lylandra, Grand Admiral of the Guard, a 6-cost shield with the Shi'ar affiliation. While Lylandra is active, if one of your character dice attacks and is unblocked, reroll them after damage is dealt. If they land on a character face, put them in your prep area instead of your use pile. This is reminiscent of that one Magneto that would never leave the field. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a 6-cost though. Probably not worth it.
No.
And it's prep area, not field. Can't be bothered with that.
Yeah.
So
by the time you get this set up, it's you may as well just cycle the die.
Yeah. It doesn't win you the game, and it's a 6-cost. So.
Yeah, because you've got to roll it on a character face to put it in the field. Then you've got to get it through unblocked. Then you've got to roll it on a character face again to get it to your prep area. And then you've got to roll it on a character face again to get it back into the field zone.
What are the chances?
James, I don't think you'll be using this one.
I like the summon. There was a Summon Skull Global back from Yu-Gi-Oh, which let you pay a bolt when a monster was unblocked to put it in your bag. I think that was better at global speed.
Yes, and not a 6-cost.
Just get active.
No, this is a weaker Lalandra, I would definitely say. So Ben, why don't we move on to Madeleine Pryor?
My favourite dice that everyone hates.
Is it?
Madeleine Pryor, Aspiring, 3-cost Mask, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and the Hellfire Club affiliation. While Madeleine Pryor is active, if an opponent draws an extra die during their clear and draw step, prep 2 dice from your bag.
Yeah.
Reminder text. Yep.
What do you think? Is this good? Is it bad? Is it mediocre? Is it instantly forgettable?
Another card that hates Rush.
The fact that it's only during their clear and draw step means it's only effective with Rush or Swarm.
Yeah.
Not many people play with those things, but
no.
If we do suddenly get an uptick in that, it's nice to have a answer, I suppose, pre-made. I can't see this seeing a lot of play.
No, not at all.
Just play this and the Nebula and the She-Hulk and the Macho Man. And have fun. So then you get to draw 2 extra dice. You get to feel the character. I don't know what all the things you could do.
But making them draw an extra die. Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
It gets ridiculous pretty quickly.
I mess around with that one though. If you draw 5 dice, it's okay, but it's funky.
How much does Macho Man cost? Is it 3?
4.
4.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, you can't get out quite early enough. and then it kind of makes your bag a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could get them both out on turn 3, you could get some value out of it. But,
yes.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Should we move on?
The masked rhino. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly. Move on for the masked rhino. To magic, James.
Sorceress of Limbo, 4-cost mask, X-Men affiliation. When fielded, target character die gains Overcrush and +2 attack. There's a cheap Psylocke that does that. Does it give 1 attack or does it give nothing? I don't really care.
It just gives Overcrush the Psylocke.
Yeah, 2 costs.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay an extra 2 just for the 2 attack. I'd rather bring a Pump Global.
Yeah.
I think that's overall true. The other thing I don't like about this compared to the Psylocke is this has 1/1/2 attack, whereas the Psylocke has 1/2/3, I think.
Right.
So if you give magic the +2 attack, you're not really getting a lot of value out of that. It'd be nice if it was like for the rest of the turn gets +2 attack, because then you could flip the stats on the magic itself.
Right, yeah.
But the fact that it's static is an applied effect.
What if you were doing the Kitty Pryde that makes stuff cheaper and you get a bunch of magics for cheap? Or Oscar, I suppose, because it's a mask.
Yeah.
And you get a stat flip and you have some, you can have a magic in the field, flip that, then field it.
Yeah.
Convoluted.
It's convoluted. Nice. I can't believe you even suggested it, James.
Very good ability. A very good ability. We just like it on a different card with a different cost.
Yeah. At this point, James, I should remind you of what James would say in this circumstance. What, you're going to buy that and then buy that and then put that in the field and then field that? No, next. Move on. Jolly good. All right. Well, Peter, Magneto.
We got Magneto, Master of Magnetism, 5-cost mask character with the Brotherhood affiliation. He has Team Watch. Spin target opposing character die to an energy phase of your opponent's choice.
And?
Could be good if you have a bunch of Brotherhood characters, or maybe give him another affiliation and field stuff.
So Team Watch means what?
If you field a character that shares an affiliation with this character, you get to use the Team Watch effect. But he's a 5-cost. His fielding is terrible, but he also has a global. Pay a mask once per turn. During your turn, if you have no dice in your prep area, you may draw a die and place it in your prep area. So it's worth it just for that.
Yeah,
I
would probably still play one of the other Magnetos.
I think it's an interesting point that Team Watch can, you can manipulate it with that affiliation gifting global on the basic action, whatever the hell that's called, radicalization.
Yeah.
So as Peter says, you can give him X-Men, for example, affiliation. That's quite cool, actually, that you can do that. And maybe not so interesting for this, but it might be interesting for other characters.
Team Watch things, yeah, for sure.
You can't give an affiliation to a character die in the reserve pool, can you? It has to be has to be already in the field.
No.
So you can give it to the one with the Team Watch and then field other
stuff. Yeah. That's right, yeah.
I like this. Not a lot, but a little bit. There's not really a great choice in terms of the cheap lead. Sorry, that wasn't very informative, was it? The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. There aren't many good low cost choices for them.
There's Mystique.
No, there's not. Mystique, yeah.
Mystique, but you're not trying to cycle that, are you?
No.
Well, it depends which one you use. There's because there's the one when Wolverine is active. Oh no, she's not a Brotherhood character though, is she? Yeah, I suppose it's the super rare is the one you'd probably want, is it? Or that has Team Watch and 3 cost to spin and target opposing character die to an energy phase of your opponent's
then you
choice.
still want it active, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, if there was stuff you'd cycling. But yeah, maybe with the fact that you can make this an X-Man or something. And then maybe with the beasts we talked about earlier. because those beasts are attacking, getting KO'd. Then you suddenly have an extra bit of threat from it. Interestingly, it's your opponent's choice what energy they spin to as well.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, so it was like a Typhoid Mary or something. You'd get a bolt and a mask, probably. I think it's nice removal, but there are definitely better things out there. And for a 5 cost, I don't think it'll see that much play. I mean, obviously for the global,
I think people will build it just for the fact that it has the global on it. So why not throw this win condition and try or removal condition, try and make it work.
Ben, why don't you give us Master Mold, who continues to underwhelm, shall we say, until we get to the big fella himself.
The Corsair of the later rares.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Master Mold had untold electronic expertise as a 5-cost shield villain. When fielded, KO target X-Men character dice. Okay, there's lots of X-Men character dice, so fair enough. Probably needed a needed ability in the set. It's just not needed on a 5-cost shield. With ridiculously disgusting stats. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Pay 3 energy to KO.
It would be funny if it had the extra bit that Corsair does, that if you can carry 2 target X-Men character dice, your opponent has 4 more character dice in the field turn.
Yeah.
Didn't even get that.
No.
Sod this.
No, this is pretty weak. and it wouldn't, I mean, the ultimate probably in Damnation is that it wouldn't even really be any good in draft.
Maybe with radicalization.
No.
Well, yeah, but even so, you're not paying 3.
No.
You're not buying it for 5 and then filling it on. I was like,
Mr. Sinister, Dark Experimentation. 5-cost bolts with a villain affiliation. When Mr. Sinister attacks, after blockers are declared, you may pay 2 life and have him gain +3 attack.
But that's not why we're here for this, is it?
Massively interesting, but the global is pay 2 generic, field a sidekick from your use pile, prep a sidekick from your use pile. I think we like that. It's I think we did, Peter and I did a video, not just about this, but this was featured, so we'll put that in the show notes. Great global found on Atlantis, but here it's just generic with no energy requirements, which is a double-edged sword, but think Thor, super rare from Infinity Gauntlet, think Jubilee, I suppose, as well. Prep and cull, and possibly triggering when fielded effects. Nice.
I'm thinking of not those win conditions. I'm thinking of my opponent fields a pip and spins down my 2 characters down to like single energy. And they're not the energy I need for Atlantis, but they are the energy I can use for Mr. Sinister, so at least I get something out of it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah. And even if they spin down one of those characters, like, for example, Typhoid Mary, who on her
generic
lowest energy face just has generic energy, you can still use it.
Yeah,
which is really cool. No, this is really strong. And I think there was a tournament. Was it Dice Fight XL, or when we had some advanced... we allowed people to fiddle around with some advanced Dark Phoenix stuff, and this came out, I think, among the players that used it as really... I mean, I think people...
I love this global,
but it's really strong.
This and Dark Phoenix global.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I mean, again, Mr. Sinister has that weird thing of you need to pick your poison when it comes to his global, because there are 4 Mr. Sinisters and they all have different globals.
I choose this one.
But they're basically all good, but this is amazing.
I think this is one of the globals which might be like, hey, we might finally have some decent churn on ramp. But then also that gives rise to the fearsome Jean Grey Hope Pip combo we talked about earlier.
Indeed.
Pay 5.
Pay 5.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh,
And it's a nice trap on like Becky teams and like Danny Moonstar teams where your opponent probably doesn't really want the sidekicks, and so it's just kind of turns it one-sided because they'll be afraid to use it.
Yeah.
So it would be great on those teams. I think
it would be.
I like it.
Stamp of approval.
The only danger is having ending up with too many psychics in your field for whatever danger that poses.
The subtle difference between this and the Atlantis Global is, obviously aside from the energy demand, is that the Atlantis Vast Kingdom Global has Pay Fist Shield, or Schist as we called it, didn't we? I think. Move a sidekick die from your use pile to your prep area. Field a different sidekick die. First. Yeah, exactly. Whereas, so if you only had one sidekick die in your use pile with the Lalandra, you obviously do as much as you can.
Yeah.
So you would pay those two, but you would get to prep a sidekick die. But with this Mr. Sinister, they've put it the other way around. So you would prep, you would field first. So if you only had one sidekick dice. Exactly. Yeah. If you only had one sidekick die, you would field it rather than prepping it with this particular global. Small, but
that's the
but important difference.
Seal of approval.
And who's next? Peter? Is it you?
Yes. Moira, Strength of Foresight, 3-cost X-Men shield character with the founder affiliation. While Moira is active, when you field an X-Men character die with purchased cost of 3 or more, put a loyalty counter on Moira, and when fielded, you may send target action die from your opponent's field zone to their use pile. So this is another counter to continuous action dice, such as Godcatcher, but there are also a couple in this set that are interesting. And this is one of the few characters that actually needs to be active to gain loyalty counters.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
There's been a ruling on that, that unless it's mentioned specifically, your character does not need to be active to gain loyalty counters.
Check out the rulings video notes in the show notes.
Yes. So it's definitely worth it to play this for the when fielded, but it's nice that she has a bonus ability, so she's not a dead card if your opponent isn't playing any continuous action dice.
Yeah.
And you can also play a continuous action die of your own. What's the one in the set that works with loyalty counters?
Oh, yeah.
It's Living the Dream. We have not mentioned it.
Keeping the dream alive.
Yes. So that is a continuous action die that actually works with loyalty counters. So you can take good advantage of that, and you could also keep your opponent from using that. So that would be a shoe-in on a team if I were to use that basic action.
Yeah, I think that Living the Dream is actually really interesting. I mean, obviously we'll talk about that when we get to the basic actions, but that could be actually quite cool. Yeah, that could give some serious buffs to your field.
A little birdie told me that it did really well in a WDA yesterday.
Yeah, I was just reading that. I think Nick described it as, what was it exactly? Living the Dream BS. There you go. He played the Living the Dream BS, and apparently it was quite good.
Right.
It is complete and utter BS. One's moving.
Can Hope gain loyalty counters via copying this?
Oh,
yeah.
Oof, that's complicated.
I think so.
If Hope copies it and is then active, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. She would just replace
She would
Moira
gain that too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And if you have them both out, you could give them both loyalty counters and keep alternating them, maybe.
I was thinking you can probably get Hope to a decent buffed level using this and then switch to something else.
Switch to Cable.
Something miserable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, dear. Sounds a bit gruesome. Shall we move on to Mystique, Ben?
Yes. Mystique, taught by Magneto, 3-cost mask, X-Men, and Brotherhood affiliated. While Mystique is active, Brotherhood character dice are free to field. Energize, you may field a Brotherhood character dice for free. I don't want this card.
No.
Choose Deadpool. Choose life. No, this is alright. There's some hella expensive Brotherhood characters out there for fielding cost. See the Magneto we just talked about. So, okay, sure. I
suppose the Energize kind of supplements her main ability, but it means you obviously need to be rolling another Brotherhood character die at the same time in order to get it, because obviously activates.
Yeah, her while active is a better ability.
Yeah, definitely.
But imagine you had Deadpool out already, then you rolled Mystique on level 3.
Oh, wow.
You field Mystique for free.
Free.
Then field your Brotherhood for free.
That would
just saying, Mystique, Magneto, Deadpool meta for the win.
Yeah,
Take it to Worlds.
exactly.
Take it to Worlds.
Let's see how we get on.
Book it.
And James, talk to us, please, about Phoenix.
Phoenix, close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Eternal Flame, 6-cost bolt with an X-Men affiliation. When Phoenix attacks opposing character dice with less than 4 attack, can't block.
Oh, bye-bye, Moira.
That's alright, isn't it? That's, I reckon that is quite alright. Although it does cost 6. But
Hope.
yeah, there's hope. Yeah, there's always hope. And sidekicks
Literally
definitely have
always.
less than 4 attack on the whole. So you're just removing all your opponent's chump blockers.
Yeah.
That's, I like that. It's a
Can
shame
you
can't-
feel my heart beating?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but except they never said that, and it used to really irritate me because they always used to say beating. And I'm like, no, it's beating. Beating.
You don't know what their heart's doing.
There's a T in there. They're not beating. It's not beating. They're not producing little beads.
That's bad if your heart is beating.
It's beating.
Probably.
I know exactly. You should get down the hospital if your heart is beating.
This is cool, but you're going to run cable instead of this, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Or
I was just
both.
thinking you
What's it
can't hope both, can you? And,
Yeah, that's a shame. If only.
Is it a shame? Really?
It's a shame that hope isn't even more powerful than she already is.
Yeah.
I like it though.
There are better ways to do this, though, right? To stop your opponent from blocking stuff. Or, yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, it's good.
It's okay, but like there are definitely better, a significant number of better 6 costs out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You would probably pick.
Yeah. Not terrible, but not top of the pile.
No, exactly, and consequently, probably will become fairly
Much like the song.
irrelevant. Yeah.
No, the song is a gem.
It's all right.
Oh, it
I'm
tingles down my spine every time I hear it.
I'm just slightly upset that James singing reminded me that we completely forgot to sing Gladiator when it came to that. I was like, oh no.
Did we forget?
No, we did. Well, I
Forget
did.
the right word.
I did. I forgot. I'm really upset. Can we go back to the G's now,
No,
please?
Professor X, Uncanny Leadership.
Just edit it in later.
All right,
I'll just
Peter.
edit it in about 10 different times throughout the entire show. Just by getting excited and going, Gladiator!
Peter.
Yes,
Can
we have
just
another
talk about
amazing,
Gladiator instead of
No.
Professor X, please? I don't want to talk
amazing
about
Professor X.
Rubbish.
Uncanny leadership 6-cost mass character with the X-Men affiliation. When fielded, spin an opposing die to its single energy phase, and he has energized. Move an X-Men die from your use pile to your prep area. This is too expensive. Next.
Pants.
But there is hope.
There is hope, but
It's
not.
rubbish.
there are
Stop
better
suggesting
targets.
copying Professor X with hope.
What is your problem with Professor X?
I like the uncommon better.
They're rubbish. They're all rubbish and not even worth copying with hope. Just no. Really, no. There are things that do much better than this for 5, right? What is the point? Move on. I mean, I suppose expectations are high for Professor X, right? You would have
They
thought in this set he might have something half decent, but no.
Founder. Is he not a founder? Surely he must be a founder. But he's
No.
not a founder.
No.
I mean, he founded the team, but he's.
Don't know. Isn't Professor X pretty useless in Dark Phoenix Saga?
No, well, I don't know. Isn't
Not
he,
sure.
Doesn't he end up? Well, spoilers. Does he end up flying into space with somebody? Is that?
They all fly into space, don't they?
Does it? No, I'm working from the cartoon. I don't know that.
Too long ago.
Okay, so
Yeah,
James
he
doesn't
gets like
Professor X.
besotted with the woman that's on the card.
Yeah,
Lalandra.
I think so.
Yeah.
Lylandra.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, moving on.
There we go.
Psylocke.
Jolly good.
Heiress. 4-cost mask. I've taken the reins. But
it's not even your turn.
I don't care. Psylocke gets +2 attack for each of your X-Men dice in the prep area. Energize. Spin target character die up 1 level. I'm reading this for the first time, and I prefer all of the other Psylocks. So no.
Yes.
Agreed.
You've gone rogue, James. You've completely upset
That's
my...
a nice segue to the next character.
Oh, yes. That's true.
Very good. Read it.
Very good. And so someone read it and gets back on track. I think Ben's turn. It's Ben's turn, definitely.
I'd like the Psylocke.
We'll quickly say something about it and then tell us something
It
about
reminds me of one of the cards from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Your favourite set, isn't it? That you've got 7 versions. You've got 7 complete sets of them.
Isn't it like X weapon, whatever it is?
No.
Yeah, X23 was way better than that.
X23 rolls everything, doesn't it? And you have to do a check on that. This is like I can't remember her name.
Crikey, this is well worth a wait. You're just like
sorry.
This is what you should use with the bishop, the prep stuff when you buy it. So you could if you can get some cheap stuff using bishop that has any X-Men affiliation, put it in your prep area.
So you field Kitty Pryde,
yeah.
Then you clayface in bishop, and you buy 2 dominoes.
Perfect.
And then Psylocke gets +4 attack.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
And he gets blocked by a sidekick.
This is alright, okay. Rogue Unity
Rogue,
Squad. 4-cost mask with the X-Men affiliation. While Rogue is active, your X-Men character dice costs 1 less to field. Team Watch Rogue gets +2 attack.
Yep.
Makes the Deadpool free to field.
Yes. And 2 of Rogue's levels, level 2 and 3, are both 2
The synergies. Yes, that difficult choice.
That is a powerhouse combination, if ever there was one.
I mean, it's like the Mystique, isn't it? I mean, yeah, okay, sure. The Mystique's better, though, isn't it?
Definitely.
They're free to field. But there's more X-Men, so, okay. Okay, the Team Watch actually is not bad, though. You can give her probably quite a good amount of stats with that, if you lined up right. This is probably worth messing around with, actually, that secondary ability.
It's okay in draft, I think, but not so good in
but it's nice with the Psylocke, or the magic even, that we just talked about. So the magic, if you field magic, you can give this Overcrush and +4 attack with just fielding a magic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's worth probably messing around with in Constructed.
If you have her on level 1 and you field the Storm that makes something with 3 or less attack unblockable, you could have a 4 attack unblockable rogue.
And then start buffing it. Yeah.
Or field a couple other ones after that. There's some potential.
That's nice.
Okay, well, I mean, Rogue, I feel like Rogue's okay. I mean, I feel like we've had some mediocre cards recently, but now we're going to come to one of the powerhouse cards in this particular set.
Oh, no, sure.
Well, I mean, just all versions of this character are unbelievable, aren't they?
No exception.
Peter, you get the honour of reading the latest Ronan card, who has just been unbelievable in this set so far.
Ronan the Accuser should accuse himself of being terrible. He is a 6-cost bolt with no affiliation, and when fielded, each player loses 3 life.
What?
Yeah, 3 whole life, both of you.
I'm just looking forward to the Ronan Super Rare.
When is he ever gonna get a good card?
Yeah,
this
well,
is fine. 3 life.
No, it is
chunky.
Yeah, but you both lose it.
Yeah,
me and
both
you.
lose 3 life, and then he has 1/2
but
fielding.
chunky stats.
It's dreadful.
Terrible.
Nah.
Is
Decent
only
fielding.
great if your opponent is at 3
decent
life,
fielding for
and
the
you are at
stats.
more than 3.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you're at 3 life or lower, you can't field him.
Do you know what I like about this? In draft, it's kind of a timer. Like, at least you're eventually going to get through
I suppose,
the walls. But I think this set is going to be a quick draft anyway.
Yeah.
So probably not useful. This would be nice in the Age of Ultron.
It's terrible. It's very, very bad. I mean, it's arguable which of the Ronans is the worst, but let's not have that discussion now.
No, let's not.
We can save that for a rainy day. Yes.
Sabretooth, you ready a party? 5-cost fist with the Brotherhood affiliation. When Sabretooth attacks, I'm pretty sure he's from London, in fact. Your
That's Toad, isn't
character dice get plus
Ray
2
Park.
attack. Team Watch, target character die can't block this turn.
Yes.
It's
Very,
good.
very
It's good,
good.
James. It's good. It's good, James.
Yeah, I was wondering for a minute. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's gonna be a Brotherhood combo team, and that's a part of it. But beyond that, not really.
This is the centerpiece of it, I would probably argue.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This works very well with the Magneto. The only thing that's holding me back on that Brotherhood team is there's no cheap ones that are decent, as we discussed before.
More cheap Brotherhood characters that you want to keep filling.
Yep. But yeah, this is very strong. Something that you can give probably easily give all your Brotherhoods +2.
Yeah.
Plus 2 attack, and then make them unblockable. You know, substantially using that secondary ability, you get enough characters out.
Oh yeah.
To make a few of them unblockable, at least.
Yeah.
And then you have the radicalization global as well.
I don't think it'll see that much play, sadly. I mean,
maybe not.
Sure, there'll be
it will
teams, but not that much.
It will in Golden. I think people will play Brotherhood, especially in affiliated. This probably means Brotherhood affiliated teams can't be in single affiliation tournaments anymore.
So it won't be seen ever.
It makes Brotherhood teams too strong for single affiliation, but it's not quite strong enough to be in modern constructed.
Mm-hmm.
We need a hope for Brotherhood characters. That would be cool.
Oh no! Don't say that.
You're +4, yeah.
If you have multiple Sabretooths, you get the buff for everyone.
Saber-teeth, surely.
Saber-teeth, indeed.
Yeah, it actually would though, right? Because when attacks.
It's a when attacks. So
yeah, that's pretty good. Still, 5 cost though.
He's a 5 cost, yeah.
I know, but then when you can make sidekicks Brotherhood with radicalization.
Yeah.
Not 5 cost, make them into Brotherhood. 5 attack. Yeah, I don't know. That's good.
It could be fun.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, we like that Sabretooth. That is cool. Ben, I think it's back to you. And you get another good one in the form of Storm.
With the tiniest writing of all time.
It has, yeah.
Storm is a queen. She's a 7-cost bolt with X-Men affiliation. When fielded, reroll target character die. When Storm attacks, reroll up to 2 opposing character die. Move each die that does not roll a character.
To your opponent's use part. Yeah, there's a misprint.
Don't try to read it.
Don't read it. Don't read it. There's a misprint.
Okay. Storm deals 2 damage. So basically, for each of those dice, either rolled during the fielded step or the when attacked step, Storm deals 2 damage to your opponent for each die moves to the use pile.
Yep.
Which has been ruled on. And then
And
it also
there's been
has
a
a secondary
clarification,
effect.
hasn't
On the energize, reroll target opposing character die. That does not do the 2 damage.
No.
Indeed.
But there has been a
no matter what you do, it's a reroll.
Yeah. I mean, she's 7 cost, she's mega expensive, but boy, she's good when you get her out. And of course, there's a certain hope waiting in the wings, is there not?
Yeah. The when attacks, particularly reroll up 2 opposing character die when attacks, is very strong.
It is. Yeah.
Especially when you can do damage with that.
Yeah, she's easily cyclable because she's got 1 defense on level 1 and 2.
Yeah. She's pretty disgusting.
Yes. I mean, that's hard to argue with. I mean, it's just more removal, though, isn't it? It's like, how much removal do we need?
I know.
It's like we've got it coming out of our ears. Like, everywhere you look, there's some sort of something.
I mean, I'm telling you, that
removes
Angela that stops when fielded effects is more and more likely to make a comeback.
Yeah,
it is, but that wouldn't even survive this.
Exactly. I suppose. That's
she would stop hope, though.
She would stop the hope.
She does stop hope, yeah.
So you need to stop the when fielded and then stop the when attacks, and then we're sort of okay.
Well, there's that Wonder Woman, isn't there, that's coming back in Kryptonite Crisis that does that, yeah. So for the people on a lockdown stuff, they could go with those two, but...
yeah, I mean, with that card, and then maybe say more of that Colossus play. Yeah, but anyway, Storm is very, very strong. We'll definitely see play, even at 7 cost. Yeah, would it take the place of Hope Rachel? Will it be Storm Hope? Don't know.
Well, it's...
Or why not both?
Yeah. Exactly. Both. Exactly. For the old, what is it, Prince of Egypt meme.
More credence to, I think, also getting your opponents to field psychics with Hellfire Gala.
Yeah.
It's very tempting with this as well.
It is, yeah. No, this is really, really good. Another very strong rare.
Instant War, I suppose, is still legal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. We're on to Supreme Intelligence. Peter. Talking of Supreme Intelligence.
Merciless. This is the most expensive card in the game. It is a 12 costs.
What?
Yes, 12.
12?
It's a mass character, and he has a discount mechanic. Supreme Intelligence costs 1 less to purchase for each loyalty counter on it. But how do you get them on there?
You buy something really good.
Purchase an excellent card, Ronan the Accuser, or attack with Ronan the Accuser, and you get a loyalty counter on him. So if there was a good way of getting loyalty counters on this, it could be interesting. Dear. But you have to buy Ronans or attack with them, and nobody wants to do that. So, no.
Would it even be that interesting? Like,
it's not even that good.
It's cost 12.
I know.
Actually, Rob...
Its highest attack is a 7.
Rob from over at Breath Weapon X made like a spreadsheet to see how cheap he would have to get a good rating with the Homash, and it was like 7.
So if you bought like 3,
because the thing is,
fielded them twice.
You would need
the
7.
thing to remember is the loyalty counters go on it though, so it's getting better stats.
Yeah, his
cheaper it
stats
gets.
go up as he gets cheaper. So that is pretty cool. But why Ronan? Why not something cheap and useful?
It's absurd. It's absurd. It feels like when that 12 cost, when it comes up, it sort of feels like when they used to put up the results on the old sort of football vidi printer, and you used to see, like Wraith Rovers 7, and then it would say in brackets the number in numerals 7, because no one ever scored 7 in football. This feels like it needs a 12 written afterwards. Just
I know.
People realise that it's not 12.
If you can reduce it down to a 1 cost.
1 cost?
And we have 11 loyalty
It gets plus 11 plus 11.
Yeah, but how are you going to get 11 loyalty
I don't know, but that is ridiculous.
Wait. Isn't there a basic action card? Is it Page Manager or something like that?
Yes.
That allows you to do something without actually paying for the blasted thing.
Yeah.
Another basic action which deals damage that Peter likes according to the cost of the die that you pull out your bag.
There is.
Can't you do something like, come on, Peter,
yes.
do that?
No, because the Thanos is better. The Thanos is a 10 costs, which will also kill your opponent with 2 hits, and he gets to use basic actions when he attacks.
But that's golden, surely.
Yeah.
That's a good modern.
Yeah, Peter, now what are you going to say? Pushed you into a corner now.
I would still rather use like Stompa.
I'd still rather just not play the game. Come on, Ro, come on. This is good. This is it's not good.
On, then.
It's
Toad.
Fun. It's
Toad.
fun.
Journey into misery.
Yes, indeed. I feel like we've already had a bit of that.
He's a 4-cost fist with the Brotherhood affiliation. He has Team Watch. Move a die from your opponent's prep area to your bag. To their
bag.
Yeah, not your bag. To your bag might be interesting.
That would be interesting indeed.
Throw it out the window. That would be
again, as with every other iteration of Toad, he's just filler for a Brotherhood team. So, yeah. All right, the mechanic is interesting enough, but it's not going to see any play.
The mechanic is cool. Yeah, this is too expensive.
It is indeed. Yeah. So should we just swiftly move on to Vulcan, Ben?
Yes.
The last good one. Vulcan Aggression. 6-cost Fist. While Vulcan is active, your opponent's non-fist character dice get minus 2 defense.
Big one, yeah.
Then it also has a force attack global player fist, target character die must attack this turn. So the global kind of works against this because you want to leave Vulcan active. But in saying that, Vulcan still has a 3-2, 4-4, 6-5 stat line. So a big boy attacking them potentially if they do force it out. But if they don't force it out, then you're getting the old Venom Angelo Fortunato effect, where your opponent's non-fist character dice get -2, which is very, very annoying to play against, where you can't field any sidekicks.
Yeah.
And fist characters aren't that great traditionally. So, yeah, very strong. I'd be interested in seeing it in this modern meta, but I think everyone's got a new force attack global. If you want a force attack global, why would you not play this one?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just even within set, you've got things like Moira, which are fairly low level defense, isn't it? They'll just get immediately KO'd.
The one for me is the Mystique that reduces ping damage.
Yes. Yeah, because she's a mask.
Not being able to keep any sidekicks in the field is horrible.
Yeah, horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it can be good for one turn, can't it? Because it gives you a bit more ramp, but then you realise that most of them don't come back on sidekick side, so they end up just clogging your bag.
Good to play against this with the what's his name? The Atlantis Global, the new one.
Oh right, yeah. Do you mean Mr. Sinister?
Mr. Sinister Global, yeah. We talked about
prep 2 dice.
Then prep 2 dice, yeah, for 2.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to bring this up really, but Vulcan is very, 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 very strong against Danny Moonstar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she never lives, does she?
Nope.
Yeah.
She's 2 or 1 defense on every side, isn't she?
I'm very sad.
He is also very, very, very bad against Pip.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, this is not a good card to play against Pip. Wow.
Yeah, that is true.
But then I suppose
the one Pip
that
rerolls characters. That is.
Yeah.
Yes, because it enables you.
On our video spoke, I'll drop the link in the show notes.
Indeed. Very nicely done. Yeah, basically it gives your opponent the ability to keep refielding Pip as long as they can re-roll him, because he'll get KO'd as soon as he hits the field, but he'll still do his effect of removing 2 characters. So that's...
I hated Angelo Fortunato.
Yeah.
For a while, I would constantly put a fist character on my team just so something would live.
Yeah.
And when you're making that kind of decision for your opponent, like, it's always a good space.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this Vulcan is interesting. I mean, obviously, it is a 6 cost, so it's quite the investment.
Yeah, and that was kind of Venom's problem as well, and probably why he wasn't, like, tier 1 ever.
Yeah. But he also had -2A as well, didn't he, I think?
He did, yeah.
But the
which
global
does make a bit of a difference.
I think you're right, Ben. The global is going to mean this is going to see play, even if people don't actually buy the character very often. People will put it on their team just so they can get the force attack. I mean, obviously, the other versions of Vulcan do have this, but this is the best ability of the Vulcans in this set.
Yeah.
It's the one that you want. Yeah.
This
Honey.
How does Hope match up against this? So Hope has 2 defense.
She would die
as well. So she would die.
She would die, but she could get. She could use her when fielded.
When fielded, but cable and stuff you wouldn't be able to use, right?
No, you wouldn't be able to use cable. You wouldn't be able to use the when attacks on anything, because she would die before that.
It would be interesting to play it with Hope Rachel versus a Vulcan though.
Getting knocked out all the time.
Oof.
That could get ugly very quickly. All right, well, shall we round it up? We're on to the final one. Whose turn is it? I can't remember. Is
Might be
it Ben?
me. I don't know.
Is it you?
Peter.
Go, Peter.
It is a Wolverine trainer, a decent one. He's a forecast fist with the X-Men affiliation. He has awakened target sidekick character die against deadly. Not super interesting. He does have a burst ability. When you spin up another character die, spin Wolverine up also. So if you spin him down with the mutation
okay. Sure.
and you spin something else up, he gets spun up back up, and then you can do it again. So that is pretty cool.
Giving every time you do it,
you
get to make another sidekick deadly, which is not a bad little bonus.
No.
Exactly. So that is pretty decent. But this one also has an excellent global, which the other ones did not have so far. So he pay a fist once per turn. On your turn, prep a die from your bag. So
yes.
the global we've seen on Atlas before.
Yeah.
Very good to have that on a character. So I like this. And it's pretty cheap for 4. Decent stats. Fielding is horrible, but you know what you can do.
Well, there's Deadpool in there for his level 2 side.
Exactly.
So that's always a win.
And was it Rogue for his...
yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. So then...
Makes him 002. Yeah.
Precisely.
That's decent with those stats.
Do you think people will play this over Atlas? What do you play this or Atlas?
I'd definitely play this because you could actually use this, couldn't you? As long as you had somewhere spinning him up, of course.
If I wanted to do Awaken, I'd have this on my team, I think, and buy it. Yeah, I would actually buy it because mutation. That's quite good. Then
I know, but what Awaken teams are there?
I don't know, Nebula, a collector.
Yeah,
the collector. Yeah, probably the most interesting one.
I think the Atlas is still better, probably.
But nobody ever buys Atlas.
I buy Atlas.
I'm a fan of Atlas, but
Overcrush and AA Overcrush.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to flip him, don't you, when he's active?
Yeah, he has a self-flipping mechanic, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's really irritating. So then you lose the global because it's only on one side.
Yeah, but you set up for that.
At that point, you don't need it anymore.
I like that. I've used that as a winning condition several times.
Good old Atlas. But we're not here to talk about Atlas. We're here to talk about these rares. And we have got to the end. Oh, it's been epic this time. I mean, we thought the other ones were long. This was super long because there's been so much good stuff. I mean, how do you pick a winner out of this lot? What do you reckon, James?
Easily.
What's your favourite? Oh, go on then, Ben. You've got one.
David Kenneth.
Oh, you think Dave Kenneth's the best?
No, I don't. That's the easy way out.
Just pick Dave. If all else fails, pick Dave. That's what Ben says. But
my motto in life and in DiceMasters.
Yeah. What's your favourite though, really, Ben?
I'm going with Jubilee Fireworks just because I hadn't really read that card before. As a replacement for Turk Barrett. I think it fits very nicely on the team I'm currently most interested in playing. So yeah, very much just the pingy guy with the globals, spending X-Men, so it kind of gives you versatility on not just mask globals, which Turk Barrett does. You could finally put a pump global in there, for example, which might be useful on Iceman. So I like that Jubilee, and then just because we were talking about it, and probably no one else is going to mention it, that Bishop, the rare Bishop, that lets you prep a die
that gets better every time we mention it. It was spoiled exclusively on DM United.
I know, definitely kind of
correctly
grown on me. That Silgar idea is weighing heavy in my mind.
Return to Thanos purchase. It gets better.
You know that Jubilee, right? Sorry to butt in, but there's a defense pumping global in the on one of the basic action cards, so you could do that with Iceman. So you just pumping his defense and pinging him simultaneously. Yeah,
and it gives you flexibility on that as well with the clay face. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
James, while you're there, what's your favourite?
Well, that one is good. Jason mentioned it actually the other day, that Jubilee, and he liked that, and I agree. But I'm obviously going to plump for Cable.
Camp Cable. I thought you might be in Camp Cable.
Because double is double.
You can't be a bit of double.
Keep out of the black and in the red. Nothing in this game for two in a bed.
Yeah. More obscure UK game show references from the 1980s. Just what the listeners want. Peter, what are you picking out as your fave?
I really like the Storm.
Oh, yes.
Boo.
I have always liked Storm, and this one is just so brutal. I like it.
It is blindingly good. Yeah. I'm going to pick something different and go for Dark Phoenix. I think that's really interesting.
For sure.
The one that reflects back the damage to your opponents, because I think that could be great fun. If you could kill your opponent with one of their own god characters.
There's loads of good stuff though here.
Yeah, we've named 4 great things. Yeah. And there's still loads more, isn't there?
We didn't even mention Colossus.
Vulcan,
exactly. Yeah. This is amazingly
Beast
good.
Even. Yeah.
There's so much good stuff here, and we should probably round up because people's ears are going to be very tired from listening to all of this.
I've got a second wind.
Have you?
I'm going to go to sleep. I'm so excited.
Oh dear, I better warn Mrs. James.
Have you got a hotline to my wife?
Never you mind. But shall we round that up and briefly move on to the other bits of the show before we finish? Okay, well, a few other bits to just box off before we go. The first one is, obviously, last time we talked about the uncommons and we invited you to vote on the DM Unlimited Facebook page to say which uncommon card you were most excited about getting to the table. And the winner was, perhaps unsurprisingly, was Psylocke. The 2-cost mask that basically gives a target character like Overcrush when fielded. Everyone was excited about that, and probably not without good reason. But also Deathbird came in second place, and that Deathbird was really interesting. While Deathbird is active when you KO an opposing character die with 3D or greater, deal 3 damage to your opponent. Now, that sparked us scrabbling around, trying to think of some interesting way to come up with a horrible method of using her. But friend of the pod, Jackalope Spam, Nick Wale, has saved us with an interesting idea. Does anybody want to just quickly outline what that is to save me talking for too long?
Yes, so using the Lord of Contagion.
That's the one.
Which gives all your characters and your opponent's characters a +1 attack, +1 defense. I already mentioned it earlier.
When a sidekick
gets KO'd, you can KO your sidekicks to give your opponents basically the +3 defense needed for Deathbird.
Yeah.
And then you can attack with a Deathbird or something else which is going to KO your opposing characters. The Plague Reaper was the one that Nick suggested.
Fetid Bloat Drone.
Fetid Bloat Drone. Yeah. When you attack with Fetid Bloat Drone, everything has to block the Fetid Bloat Drone, and it has Deadly.
Yeah.
So all your opponent's stuff is going to have +3 defense, and all of it's going to die.
Yeah.
Each of those things, Deathbird will deal with 3 damage. So very
horrible.
Interesting. Yep.
Very horrible, yeah. And he also suggested playing the basic action card Instant War, which obviously puts
gives you the
sidekicks. Yeah.
Gives you the sidekicks to KO with Dark Phoenix Global, and then gives your opponents the sidekicks to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a very nice bit of brewing.
Speaking of
James?
Deathbird,
yes.
if I could just interject for a moment. I know the show's run long, but I saw a Ural owl the other day. I was just
and it was dead. It was a dead bird.
Did it kill it?
No.
James killed it.
No. I looked to the left, looking for little birds, and saw this enormous, because they're huge, in the trees, and I was a bare 10 metres away from it. Anyway, I was talking to my friend about it subsequently, and we were talking about wild boars and how much danger they pose to people while walking through the forest. And he said, actually, what you've got to watch out for, especially in the spring during nesting season, is Ural owls. Because under normal circumstances, they look really sleepy every time I come across them because, well, they're probably asleep because it's daytime. But apparently, they're vicious little sods during the spring. So you could refer to a Ural owl as a Deathbird, I think. Carry on.
That's what the character's based on.
So next time you're in Slovakia, just watch out for those Ural owls. That is a top tip, particularly if it's spring.
I don't know if it was the same owl, but a type of owl. But a couple of years ago in the Netherlands, it made the news that there was a terror uhu, I think, that people would be walking in the forest and it would attack them.
Oh,
it could be,
yeah.
Because there was a Swedish ornithologist who apparently lost an eye to one of these.
Yeah,
I was like no joke.
Was he the
they have very sharp claws?
The real life equivalent of Nick Fury, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, thank you, James, for that enlightening.
Always a pleasure. Never
interlude. We're running out of time. We haven't even got time to talk about two-team takedown, which is now finished, but congratulations to Laurier Joseph Burrell, who was the overall winner. Well done to him, and a huge thanks to the people over at DM North and Nick Wiley, we already mentioned him, for resurrecting that format and bringing it back, because it's been great for those of us who have been involved. It has been a really good few weeks of games. Dice Fight is happening. We won't go into all the ins and outs.
We will. I've got all the updates.
Go on then, quick.
March 24th is What If Cosmic Cube Rare, we're modern legal, no Iceman. That would be a red event. March 31st is some kind of double and dice flip format where you make your own flip cards. There's links to that on the webpage, I think, and in Discord. Join us.
Please do. 9 p.m. UK time. 10 p.m. No, 10 p.m. isn't it? Central European time.
Yeah. Correct.
And other time zones vary, obviously, because that's what time zones do.
Your time zone may vary.
Exactly. But do get involved, because that's a good way of kind of scratching that DiceMasters itch on a Thursday. Well, it's been really good to have you with us. This has been an epic, probably the longest ever episode of DM United, but what a way to celebrate with the rares that we've been enjoying. What's your favourite? Get in touch, let us know. What's the best email address to use, James?
hello@dmunited.eu.
Exactly. And we'll be running another poll on the DM Unlimited Facebook page. So if you want to get involved, vote for your fave, the one that you're most excited about getting to the table, then do get involved with that. Do like, subscribe, rate and review using your favourite podcast app, and you'll be the first to know about when a new episode drops. It would be great to hear from you if you are able to get in touch. If you want to talk to us about rares or any other things that we've mentioned over the last couple of weeks, then it would be good to hear from you. But that is the end of the show, so we are going to round off by saying goodbye.
Cheery bye.
Bye.
Is this my cue? Bye-bye.
I was being a death bird.